What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be replacing the old shock towers here. This is the old ones, and the new one it's that sucker. I'm going to show you how you do it, or at least how I do it. I don't really know. No. So the first thing that I do is that I got this degree, so I got this angle finder. So this is 8.1, so we're going to try to match that as much as possible. So I actually did the other side, and it's 1 degree difference from stock to that one. So I'm actually going to match the other one there. So if I would have thought of this when I did that first one over there, then it would have been exactly the same angle as stock, but taller. In this case, it's not going to be that way. So we're just going to match the other side. But this is how I would have done it from the beginning. So now we got to cut off that. And let me tell you, there's welds there, both sides. This little section here is a pain. And then you got up top there and up top there. And once that happens, you should be able to break it off in the back here, if you can even see that. But yeah, it's a pain, so I'm not going to show you guys that. I'm just going to do it because it's going to take a minute. So I'll be back. All right, so we got it cut off. That's what it looks like after I'm done. It's an original Jeep part, slightly used. $200 or make me an offer. But this is what it looked like. I got everything ground pretty smooth. That'll do fine. I got a little work right there and a little bit more on the back. But so what the next thing to do? So we're going to measure the center of the hole, make a line all the way to the top here, and all the way back. We're going to use a square for it. And then we grab that. And you can see they this is Ruff Stuff's what is it, 9.75 inch shock tower. The model number will be on the screen and a link in the description. But you can see that when they bent this 1/4 inch steel, which is very impressive. This thing is gorgeous. But there's 2 lines here and it goes into a triangle. If you just get the center of that, then you got the exact center of the whole damn thing. So, not really a whole lot of measuring needed done, but that's how you get center. But how this is going to work is that I got to match the angle up top to the other side. And by doing that, you can see that there's a gap there and a gap there. So we're just going to grind out the middle of it until that's flush on both sides. This side's gonna be a little different because you got a motor mount kind of welded there, so that's not gonna be that big of a deal. We just won't be as close on that side, which won't be bad. But I don't want it that big. I mean, I can stick my pinky all the way through that, kind of get you a better idea. But that's what we're gonna do next. But my grinder over there ran out of battery. The other one's on the charger. So I'm done for today. It's time to go home and sleep. I'll catch you guys here in a few days. Okay, it's gonna be really hard to see, but I got marks on there. I'm gonna put a rubber rug to separate the inner fender from the engine so I don't mess with anything there. I'm I think I can just use a cutoff wheel, pretty straightforward. They might have to switch to a Dremel there on top, but once we get that cut out, then we can really see what it's going to look like, and I think it's going to look badass. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. And then just like that, you can make a grave mistake, or a great mistake. I don't know, depends how you look at it. All right, now, let's see if I can do this. It's gonna be hot. Oh, I already know. I can feel the heat. Okay, so as you can see, I still gotta cut off a little bit here. I cut this out a little too far, but that's not too bad. We can build a plate for it and all that to make it work better. So I'm gonna go ahead and get and trim right there. See if I've got a Sharpie nearby. I actually do for a change. Right there, and right there. Not that far. Right there. All right, we get that knocked out, but you can kind of see what it's going to be like, and that's a lot of travel. Not really, but if I wanted to, that's kind of another thing I kind of want to talk about a little bit. If I really wanted to on this Jeep in the future, you know, 3 or 4 link it with tons, I definitely could, because this technically is a coil over shock mount. So that's why it's so wide, is that so no matter basically no matter what coil over shocks you buy, it'll fit on this setup. Now, so I'm just going to put regular shocks on it. So that's just what I'm going to do. It's going to work out great. I can't wait. So I'm going to go ahead and you know, start trimming off that stuff that I marked off, and give you a better idea what it's going to look like. And let me tell you, having a shock mount stick through the hood makes you really feel like a super modified car or Jeep, or just modifications. So cool. Okay, so as you can see, I got it cleaned up a little bit more. Use a die grinder. I used that bit. I also used the Dremel a little bit, but that did not help out as much as I thought it would, because that die grinder ate that shit up, bro. I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean, there's not a lot of sharp edges, and there's some. I got the file here. I was just taking off the burrs and stuff, but I mean, I don't really care that much. I'm gonna get some sheet metal and cover it up somehow, one way or another, so we don't have to look at the horribleness of it, you know what I mean? Jeezer. Now it's time to do the other side. The other side is going to be the same concept, so I'm not too worried about it. There are a few things that I hope we can avoid, because this side's a little bit more complicated, but it looks like we should be okay. One was these bolts here hold on the, I believe, the fuse box and part of the battery tray. This one, actually, I don't really remember what that is. I want to say that it might be to the, they keep the jack. Oh, here we go. They keep the jacks in the, is that better? Yeah. They used to keep the jacks in, right here. And I think that's what that's to. I just didn't take the bolt out because I didn't want a hole in the fender for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to do that in this area. If I cut that out, it's not that big of a deal. It's basically what I was trying to say. So that was what it looks like welded in. We got welds on both sides here, 4 verticals technically, and 1 solid horizontal. That basically means that when a weld, some knowledge for you guys, when a weld goes from here to here and the force is going up, this weld is technically way stronger than if the force was going this way against this weld. The weld is bigger this way than it is this way. So having 4 of these, enough up force, and then obviously 1 big horizontal one, means that this is going to be bulletproof. It's going to be great. It's not going to go anywhere. But that's what it's going to look like fully. I need another coat of bed liner, but we did not do the brackets up here yet because I'm gonna wait till we get the shocks in, so I don't want to guess now and then it be wrong later and have to cut it and do it again. So we're just gonna wait on it. I think is the best deal.